Hello, you guys, and welcome back to another Editing with Eden. I'm going to be taking you through 15 images from a wedding I second shot for Deirdre Alston Photography because it's a beautiful one, and I just want to show you some of the presets on this gallery. So let's get into it. I'm trying to decide. I actually think I'm going to edit these with crisp and clean. For context, I very rarely use crisp and clean outside of actual like editorial work, but I'm kind of feeling a more natural vibe on these. So let's go ahead and play around with them. So this was just crisp and clean. I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to bring the whites down for a lot of these. So just like a rendition of crisp and clean. So we've taken it from this to this. No, we're going back. I don't love how like HDR-ish that kind of made it. So let's go back. Let's overexpose. There we go. That's the one. I love that it's looking a little bit warmer. I'm going to go down into the yellows, make sure we have them all the way. Perfect. Let's go next. I'm going to go ahead and this shot, I don't really want anything that you can see through the actual door. I just want it through the window. Let's go ahead and put crisp and clean on that. Just one click. Okay, it's looking a little too contrasty yet again. I'm just going to bring down the contrast, bring down the highlights a hair, and then let's raise this exposure. Okay, so we've taken it from here to here. For context, this is what creamy looks like. So as you can see, it's just like a simpler approach to these things. Let's go ahead and put crisp and clean on right here. And because it's pretty harsh light, I'm just going to bring the contrast like halfway down. Let's raise that exposure. I'm going to lower the highlights. And for this shot specifically, I'm actually going to take out some of the blue saturation and a little bit of the aqua. And I can't tell what these napkins are reading from, but I'm not loving the vibe. Let's go ahead and take it out a little bit there. Let's come back up, raise that exposure. I'm going to lower the contrast anymore, a little bit more. I'm feeling like a lower contrast, cleaner vibe for some of these, like almost a little bit more filmy. All right, let's go. I'm going to come back to here. Let's lower the contrast on these a little too. I'm kind of feeling a different edit, you guys. This is what's fun about second shooting and like just not really shooting weddings full time anymore, as I get to experiment with these things. Okay, this is going to be a split light boy. Perfect. Because I don't really want to lose the detail of anything, and I want to make sure we keep. I'm gonna bring down blacks and then lower the contrast, but I don't want to lose the detail up here in the palms while also still retaining what was happening in the shadows with this. One of the groom's friends was playing with the dog, and I'm just obsessed with it. So this is what this looks like before to after. I'm going to show you guys what creamy split light would look on this, So as you can see there, the whites are just a bit more muted. Just kind of give you guys a example of the difference between the two. So we're just going to do, a cleaner edit on these. I'm obsessed with this photo. I'm so happy with how it turned out because I caught the butterfly, you guys. So let's go ahead and do crisp and clean one more time. And I'm just going to bring down the contrast a ton because it was kind of, honestly, we probably could do split light on this as well if we wanted. Ooh, we're going to keep that at 6200. But I don't really want to like lose the prettiness of having the shadows and blacks be a little bit darker. So instead, I'm just going to lower the contrast. Let's raise the exposure a little, lower the highlights a hair. I'm going to go ahead and straighten this out. And again, we have a before and after right there. Just like a simple, clean edit, which I'm obsessed with. Let's put crisp and clean on here. And again, I'm just going to go and lower that contrast. Export that. We're going to put this one in black and white. This just deserves to be a black and white photo. I'm not loving the lower contrast. We might have just overexposed for a black and white. Yeah, so we'll just bring down the exposure a little. There we go. Love her. All right, this gorgeous photo of mom. Let's pop crisp and clean on there. I'm going to lower contrast again. Let's raise the exposure again. You guys, I'm going in with a lower contrast for this one. I just want it to look like really minimal for this wedding for some reason. We're going to cool it down, raise the exposure a little. Okay, so we took it from this to this. And this was where the groom grew up. So this was like his childhood playground, which made me so happy. So we went and shot them over there. Let's put crisp and clean on there. As we are with this entire gallery, let's lower the contrast pretty significantly just so it's a lower contrast photo. I'm going to raise the highlights though, because I really don't want to lose the depth of this image. And then let's cool it down. Let's raise the exposure. We're probably going to need to raise contrast a little. And I think what I'm going to do for this image, just because it was a flatter light than I love, let's raise the orange luminance and the white luminance, and then let's lower the greens and potentially the yellows. And I kind of want, I don't want to change how the colors looked too much, but I think I'm just going to bring the yellows a little bit. No, that looks horrible. Let's go back and forth on these really quick. Okay, that's looking pretty minimal. I'm thinking let's cool it down even a little bit more. Maybe raise the tint to like 10. Let's look at this. Here to here. Okay, I feel good about her. I like her a lot. I think we also could, if we wanted, like raise the contrast maybe to like there, -10. Yes, yum. Let's come here. This is like the rope swing, and so I really wanted a photo of it since obviously this is the family's home, so they played on this. Let's lower contrast again. Let's lower highlights so we don't lose that. Maybe some whites. And let's actually see what split light would look like on this. Yeah, I love that, so that we don't lose any of the detail with the background or like the highlights or the shadows. Yes, yum. There we go. I also could raise the dehaze just a little there. Perfect. All right, we have the ceremony photo. We're going to go ahead and do split light straight out the gate just because I don't want to lose that background again. Let's go ahead and raise exposure just a hair. And again, I'm going to lower contrast because I'm liking this lower contrast feel for this gallery. It just feels like this is a gallery that should be shot that way. I'm going to come down into the HSL sliders and let's lower the luminance a little on the blue, the green, maybe even the yellow. I don't want to like totally bring down her dress though. Let's see what Aqua's reading as. Okay, that's the background. Blue. Okay, I just want to make sure we're not pulling that into her dress. Yellow is definitely reading as the dress and the background, so we're just going to need to be careful with that one and maybe just desaturate yellows a little, but then like increase the green a hair to compensate. I'm going to come back up here, raise the contrast a little bit because I don't want to lose too much contrast, especially considering how low the blacks are. And one of the things that we could do here is select the sky. Let's see if she can get it. Good enough. Let's see if we lower highlights here, if there's anything to even like grab. No. We're just going to call that one. We're gonna call that one an L. But then let's come into here. Let's see if they can grab the subjects. Yes, perfect. And let's raise exposure a bit on them. I don't want to raise it too much because I don't want it to look fake, but that already helped a lot. And then let's come in here. Let's grab this little stump because she does not need to exist. Let's pull her right here. Perfect. Okay, so we've taken the image from here to here. Yum, yum, yum. This is one of my favorite photos from the evening. Let's go ahead and put crisp and clean on here again. Just this overhead view, and the sunset was insane, which you'll see a little bit of in a second. But we're going to have to be very selective with our white balance here. I'm going to go ahead. Let's lower the contrast again, and then let's raise this exposure. And let's go ahead and see what blue hour kind of looks like on this. I do like that. We just need to lower the contrast and maybe bring some black. Let's go back to contrast at 10, and then let's raise the blacks all the way up and then lower the exposure just a hair. I don't really want the water to look, I don't want the water to lose how like purple and pretty it was. So let's make sure this purple hue goes back and saturation comes up. And then let's just turn the blue, not that purple, but let's just turn it a hair more purple and then just desaturate it a little bit because I don't want it to not look like what the sky looked like. And that blue is just coming through like really vibrant for some reason. And then let's come into the orange saturation. Let's desaturate it a hair. I'm actually going to bring up orange luminance so that we can come back up here, lower exposure a little. I'm also going to raise highlights. I just don't want us to like lose the punchiness of the image. Let's come here. All right. I feel good about that one. We've taken it from here to here. Let's come here and let's do it one more time. Let's go ahead and let's do crisp and clean. Let's lower the contrast, raise the highlights. Again, I'm going to play around with this temperature tint and let's raise it a little. I'm trying to decide if I want this image like more moody or if I want like more details in the tree and stuff. What does this look like in black and white, by the way? No. Let's see. Let's play around with her for a second. I just love the moodiness of this image, and I don't really want us to like lose that. I think I just want this to look more contrasted. So maybe we even lower the shadows, keep the blacks at 0. Let's keep contrast at 0, but I'm trying to decide if I want to like warm it up and just bring the vibrance down. Let's bring this down a little bit. We're gonna meet in the middle. We're gonna add a little bit of pink. We're gonna cool it down a little, but then we're gonna come down. We're gonna desaturate orange. I want yellows to still be there. We're gonna bring out the blue a little because I don't think I love the idea of the blue being too prevalent. Let's warm it up just a hair. That's a little too cool. It kind of feels stale now. Let's go there, and then let's come into yellow. Let's keep yellow the same, and then let's make green. Just a little bit more green. Desaturate her hair. Come into orange. Let's desaturate her. Come into yellow. Desaturate her. Okay, I feel good about her. She feels good. Let's actually, one more. I'm going to cool her down just a hair. Perfect. Okay, here's an image where you can really get a feel for how insane the sunset is. So I wanted to shoot it with direct flash for kind of like a different vibe. So let's go ahead and put crisp and clean on it. It's going to be pretty contrasty. Yep. We're going to do temperature and tint based on the skin tones. And I'm actually going to make this pretty pink. And then again, I'm just going to lower the contrast. I want this to like really feel like film. So actually maybe let's even do blue hour because it'll keep everything looking really bright. And then let's lower that contrast. Let's fix horizon lines, obvi. Let's go ahead. I kind of like it a little bit more contrasty and almost like blown out. And then I personally want this to feel as sunsetty as possible. So let's keep flipping between these. I feel like the orange needs to be just slightly a little bit more pink. Yes, that's the one. Just a nice, simple. I think we can even raise the temperature a little because their skin looks a little cool. Perfect. I love her. Let's come over to this fun image. Another flash went off at the same time, which gives us like this crazy double exposure effect that I am just obsessed with. And then let's go ahead and put crisp and clean on. Let's cool her down a little because she's looking pretty warm. And then I'm only going to lower the contrast to 0 on this one because I really don't want to lose how crazy this image is. I'm obsessed with it. I think it'd also probably be really fun in black and white. Yeah, I love her. And then let's come here, just some images of some palms because I loved the palms. Let's go ahead, and I really do want it to have like almost this overexposed feel. I'm gonna go ahead and do crisp and clean blue hour. I'm gonna come into the yellows and the greens though because I want to make sure that I actually don't want to lose the color here. I'm kind of thinking actually let's go vibrance. I don't want to feel too crazy. Let's warm her up a little. And maybe bring the tint more green. And then maybe we do, I kind of like her underexposed. Let's raise highlights. Now she's almost a little too warm. We'll cool her down a hair. Perfect. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? We have this image, her. Let's look back at this. I want this a little bit more contrasted. It's a little too not contrasted. Perfect. Oh, I am going to cool this down a little and add a little bit of pink. This is why we always look over our galleries twice. And then I'm just going to compensate by taking out a little bit of the blue and the aqua. Love her. I think we could even honestly either raise the highlights or the exposure a little. Yes, perfect. Just like an increased image. Perfect. Love her. We love mom. We love this. Perfect. And now we have a full summary of the day with the crisp and clean gallery. So that is everything. If you guys have any questions below, please feel free to leave them, and you can snag the presets for yourself below. We'll see you next time.